Okay, are we all ready? Are we set? Are we ready to go? Except for Tim, we got called away.
Just shutting down.
Sorry, Will. I hope you're all right.
Yeah, are you alive out there? We'll find out later. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Omega Files. I'm your host, Dr. Freedom. And tonight we've gathered to sit down and have a little chat about the latest episode, the Zygon Inversion. Okay, let's go around. Let's get hey there, hi there, ho there from the rest of the cast. Let's start with AJ.
Hi there from down under.
Back for his second appearance on the Omega Files, Edgar.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing tonight?
And also back from London, Phillip.
Hello. I'm still alive. No one's burned.
And also from down under, Ryan.
Hello. Looking forward to discussing some double Zygon trouble.
And, of course, joining us again from Scotland, Graham.
I've got diplomatic immunity, so, yeah.
And hopping in from somewhere down Florida way, it's Vil.
Hello. Hello. Oh, it's working. I need my medication. I gotta get out of here.
Bloody hell.
I'll have what he's having.
Check, please.
And from somewhere in the heart of Coventry, Matt.
Hello. Hello.
And of course, joining us from deep in the heart of Texas, Tim.
Howdy.
Have they got through the spinal column yet?
Yeah.
Okay. A rather interesting episode with some really good bits. Like I said, really enjoyed this one tonight. These guys are really on their A game this season so far, but I want to hear what you guys got to say about it. Let's start with Texas Tim. Opening thoughts on the Zygon Inversion.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great end to or the second half of a two-parter. I thought it tied up everything pretty cool. It had some, like you said, some really good moments. I really dug the bit when Clara was arguing with the evil Zygon version of herself. I thought that was pretty clever. Capaldi was phenomenal in this, especially with his speech towards the end there. I don't know. I mean, I can't take anything away from it. I think it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, next up, let's go to Matt Rose.
Hello. Very much enjoyed it. Yes, I really loved it. It was so great. It was great to also have Kate back and Osgood again. I've been a really big fan of the modern unit. I know some people aren't, but it's just a very good presence. 5 rounds rapid, and come on, I love that line, and it was great to hear it said once again by this time by Kate taking off from her father. Great way to end an invasion that started last week. Very good callbacks to the 50th. I just loved it so much. And there's a bit of a siren going on, but yeah, I loved everything about it. Can't really fault it. It's just a great end, and can't wait for next week. Sleep No More.
Up next, Vil.
Yeah.
What's your opening thoughts on this one?
Well, I was just waiting for the stream. But that's almost summing up my opening thoughts. It came in and I was just waiting for it to explode, and I expected like the TARDIS is going to materialize behind her or something. And then as soon as that whole thing with Clara shaking the gun, on one hand I was kind of torn because it's like, yeah, that was kind of smart, but on the other hand, I'm just so sick of Clara being overly important that even Clara being somewhat important now just gets under my skin. But I couldn't really blame that on the story writing itself so much as just how tired I am of Clara, really. So overall, I'm going to say that it was pretty decent despite Clara having so much importance in the story.
All right, I'm all done. Sorry about that.
Just make sure that the cops don't find what's left of her. Oh, she's gone?
Hold on.
Okay.
I put your leftover pieces in the acid. It's good.
Now
Okay.
remember to do it the Hoffa way. You take the pieces out to the swamp and you feed them to the gators. Okay, moving on, Graham.
Wow. Follow a chainsaw. No, this one for me, as Tim alluded to, excellent second half to this, double-edged two-parter with the Zygons. I loved how the real world element continued over. You had the powerful scene of the Zygon that committed suicide because he didn't want to get taken back with the rebel faction. The scene in the Black Archive with the speeches, well documented, phenomenal. And Val might hit me over the head with a spoon for this, but I've got to give props to Jenna Coleman on this with the split personality disorder tonight, bouncing off herself really well. So cannot complain, cannot grumble, and overall, Capaldi's growing in stature every week. Phenomenal.
Okay, next up, Ryan.
As you all know, I was a big fan of last week's episode. Really loved it, and this just continued that pace perfectly. Peter Harness, I believe, wrote "Kill the Moon" last year, and he's completely turned it around this year. Compared to last year's episode, this just leaps and bounds above that. And I mean, the Zygons are back as a fully fledged force. They actually showed what they could do, and that they had a little bit of mess behind them. I was really worried that they were going to go into the whole typical, there's going to be a massive war thing, but I'm glad that it just kind of, kept an even pace and didn't go on a massive global scale with the whole episode.
All right, next up, if he can stop coughing, Phillip. Your turn, Phillip.
I know, I'm trying to. Oh yeah, that's it. There you go, working now. Do you know what? I like this episode a lot better than last week's episode because there was a lot more meat on the bone. And do you know what? Although I have often ranted about Clara being the centre of everything, she kind of her being the centre of this story fitted this story to a T. So it was worthwhile for her to be as it was. So I enjoyed her byplay as being bad Clara, and of course the trap Clara, and I feel like the idea of her being inside a cocoon thing and able to influence what the Zygon Clara, you know what I'm trying to say, where she's trying
was
to
doing.
was doing. So that was a clever idea, really good. And of course, as everybody said, Capaldi's little impassioned rant about trying to save the species, that was top dollar. I've never seen him done that, and I give him props for that. And for once, we get the doctor to see the doctor drive a car. When's the last time I saw him drive a car? I don't know.
Mr. McCoy, Remembrance of the Daleks.
Battlefield.
Did David Tennant do one?
Oh, Ben did Tennant, yeah, well, fair enough. But yeah, it was good to see Capaldi behind the wheel. That was cool. Overall, I enjoyed the story, and I've watched it twice. I will watch it a third time because I really enjoyed it. So, props for that one.
All right, next up, Edgar.
I mean, everything everybody said. This story was just phenomenal. The two in the middle, I thought they kind of stretched them being two partners, but this was perfect. And Capaldi, for me, he really became the Doctor, especially in that speech. He's been great all along, but he kind of just blew it out. And I love Jenna as a villain. I do. So, to me, just great. Great episode all around.
Okay, and AJ.
Yep. I can't really add much more to this. Brilliant, strong episode. It felt like a movie almost. That it was only 45 minutes long, but it felt like almost an hour or more long with all that was going on in the story. And the beginning part of the episode before the credits felt to me a lot like Life on Mars, where she was reacting within a dream, sort of, and she was static and all that. And to me, that seemed very inspired, I thought.
Yep.
Okay, let's open up the floor. That speech was so freaking phenomenal. I think I even had a tear running out of my eye when he got towards the end of it. It was just incredible. I've done things you can't imagine, and I've been where you're standing, and I also stood before a box and had to make a decision. I love that. All right, Edgar, let's go ahead and hop in on anybody.
Yeah, I definitely, for one, had a little bit of a tear running down my cheek. That's probably a contender for my favorite Doctor moment. Like, not just the 12th Doctor, but the Doctor in general.
It's not so much a speech as it's more of a very long rant, like somebody called it, I believe Phillip did. Because he goes on, and he gets interrupted a few times by some events. But, it's a good 5-minute bit where he's just, like, on point and pretty much convinces the Zygon chick that you're wrong and you're not going to get away with this. So, it was brilliant the way that it paid off, too, with the boxes not really being anything.
What's good about this particular round is that it puts all the others, like the flatline round, in the shadows, because this one I thought was more honest and
no competition.
No, but what I'm saying is the flatline one felt a bit too forced, and they put that in just to make him look as though he could do it. But this one cemented him being, impassioned about something. So that's why I think it's a bloody good round.
You know what? I've got to bring it up. As phenomenal as it was, what do we give him out of 10 for his American accent?
Oh my God, no. No. They did kind of spot that in a way. It went over.
It's a bit of fun, Phillip.
That's what he did it twice. He just kind of popped in all of a sudden and mocked an American accent. That's what I meant about being more than just a speech, because it's kind of a rant. It goes on and on and on, and he's got a lot of things to say, and it's brilliant the way they tied up a lot of loose ends, even as far back as they had a Doctor. Now nobody can really complain that the Zygons got dropped out of the plot because they were a B plot anyway. But that now it's been resolved 2 years later. Cool.
I think you also have to give props to Zygon Jenner's indecision while she's standing at the box. She was just so cold, and she just didn't want to let go of her ideal, and it was just so good the way she played it. I thought that was fantastic too.
Like I said last week, I think this goes to show that it wasn't a good idea for UNIT to try and keep this thing under wraps. If you're going to try and integrate a species into society, you might as well let them do it their way. The Zygon Clara implied that they had been treated like cattle, and I don't see how that would ever work if you were going to try to keep an alien race, allow them to live on the Earth with everybody else, and then try to keep it silent by making them pose as humans. That was never going to work. You're going to always have this kind of situation pop up, I would think. So the best thing to do is just let Zygons be Zygons.
Okay, AJ, you were looking a little bit anxious hopping. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, I didn't consider it a rant. I thought what he was saying was more of a statement, basically, listen to me, this is how it is. Also, I wouldn't say that the Zygons were like, they weren't downtrodden or anything like that. You get people who integrate into a new culture and whatnot, and they sort of move into that culture, and then they create their own subculture. Like you get, Greeks and Italians here in Australia. They get their own little clubs. They have their own little.
You mean like alienation? You mean like alienation kind of thing?
Yeah, basically, you can have them integrated and whatnot. They don't have to say, "Look, here we are, we're Zygons." They can still have their little groups and have their meetings and whatnot without being dicks about it.
Well, or like coneheads.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, also remember the Zygons are alien. They have alien what's the word I'm looking for? Alien
tendencies.
Yeah, basically. They're not human, so they're going to be totally different from us anyway.
Isn't the implication though that they were not allowed to be themselves, that they had to pose as humans just to fit in? That was the whole point of this subgroup of terrorists.
Yeah, but hang on. How many times has Earth been invaded by aliens, and people they must be used to it by now. So to see a Zygon walking around down our street in its natural form wouldn't really bat an eyelid, but they'd be used to them.
Oh, there's Mrs. Yeah, I can just imagine that, Phil. Oh, look, hey Doris, how are you? There's Mrs. Zygon going for a tin of spaghetti. Yeah.
I was kind of picturing two Zygons reenacting a classic moment out of Warner Brothers. Good morning, Ralph. Good morning, Sam.
Yeah.
Mailman Zygon.
Mailman Zygon.
The Zygon Gazette.
You know what I did notice though, and it struck me for the story they told and for excellent the episode, a really small cast this evening. I think we're only about 6 people. Yeah.
I can just picture the headline in the Zygon Gazette. Our home planet has returned only to be destroyed by a different catastrophe.
Which is the truth, actually, considering turtle zygotes. Yeah.
All right, anyone?
I love how this episode had a lot of like oh shit moments. Like the whole, because at the end when like he makes Kate forget it and that they've been like there like 15 times or whatever.
Well, I also like that they gave Osgood something to do for a change, because she actually in the 2 previous appearances she was in, she didn't really do much. She was just kind of there, and then here she's almost like the doctor's assistant for the first 15 minutes because they fell out of the sky, and and she's pretty much telling him all about himself the whole time. Like, yeah, you do this, you do that, don't you? You do this, because she knows all about. And then later, she doesn't even know what TARDIS means. So it's like hilarious.
And what is the Doctor's true name, everybody?
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Basil.
Basil who? Yeah.
Basil.
Wait a minute, though, I got a kick out of Osgood's first name. Oh, man.
Basil exposition? No.
Basil Brush.
So I said, boom, boom.
Well, it could have been worse. It could have been Slarty Bartfast. Come on.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
I forget, what was hers again?
Oh, was it? Oh, bloody hell. What did they put together? What the hell was it?
Phillip or something like that. I don't know.
It sounded like classical. Like a,
Yeah, it was very old sounding.
Petronella or something like that was?
Petronella.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What kind of name is that, man?
We'll just stick to last names then.
Yeah.
We'll stick to Osgood. Yeah, that'll just be a lot simpler,
Petronella and Zangella. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Plus,
Osgood goes from wearing the sonic sunglasses to then wearing regular glasses.
You know what? See, after that, I'm just waiting on the spin-off show now. Osgood goes to Hollywood. Yeah.
the two.
Well, I guess he repaired her glasses with a tape, probably.
Was that actually split screen with the two articles, or does she have the actual twin? Because the way they did it, they weren't actually mirroring each other to the point that you think, oh, it's just split screen.
It was split screen, and the backside thing was a body double.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because we saw that from the filming photos. It was a body double.
Okay. That was well done then, because it was very convincing for me.
But also we got the 2 Claras. Come on, you have to give props to Jenna Coleman on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, she did have her socks off, I must admit.
I just want Pissy's commentary on that.
On what? The Clara bit? Oh, yeah. I'm sure if we give him a call, we'll happily oblige, Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of a Jack Harkness line there. You don't even want to know what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah.
It did show us a new range of Jenna's acting ability. Mm-hmm. Even though it's not a wide range, but it was a small range enough to show that she's always
been good. She just sometimes didn't get the best scripts to work with, so it is what it is. I mean, she's always been good. Well,
soon she'll get the opportunity to play a corpse.
She's already done that twice.
Yeah, it was already original, even though we're getting it again.
Well, one was a Dalek corpse. I guess.
Yeah,
but I still say Stuart is a bit of a, I don't know. She needs to be beefed up a bit more in my eyes.
Well, I think they kind of resurrected her a little bit with the 5 rounds rapid line. That was just
but
that was just fan bait right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. That was just fan based lip service, and it's like, oh, come on, give her Give us something to be remembered by.
I just have one serious issue I wish to address about this episode.
What's
Her
that?
shoes. Her
Who
shoes.
the hell's picking out her freaking shoes?
I knew it. I was thinking that when I saw that. I went, what
I thought Phillip was the fashion police on this cast, man.
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't notice
Not
what
even
did they
a
look like?
respectful Vegas hooker would wear those things.
they were like crocodile shoes in a sense. Like,
Don't start going on Jimmy Neal on me. Oh.
That's scary that I'm a hetero male and I saw those shoes and I was like, ooh.
Oh, man.
I turned into a Zygon when I saw those shoes.
Heck, if I was the doctor, I'm like, have you ever seriously thought about wearing something, useful when you're out on, out?
Well, I hate to jump in real quick like this, but I've been lured away with the promise of some bud for being a designated driver.
Oh.
Bud Light or Bud
So
Light?
I want to say thanks and all, and as far as giving a rating, well, what the hell, I should go ahead and do that now.
Okay, you would.
I didn't really dislike the episode. It didn't hold my interest as much as the others did, which surprises me since, it's real Zygon action that doesn't involve error of the Zygons. But I'm still going to give it a 7. Overall it was good. I think that I couldn't even tell you what would need to be done, but it could have been a better episode, but it wasn't bad by any means.
Fair enough.
You're going to hide the body. That was
Yeah, hurry up. Look, you got crops to go in here. Yeah.
Yeah, so 7 altogether, and I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah,
See you,
someone's
Have a good
going
one.
to drive the fan boat out to the Glades.
Yeah.
He's taking the remains. He's taking the remains to the local McDonald's.
Yeah, Snappy wants his supper.
It's called Alligator Alley for a reason. Snapping with a lot of friends.
Yeah. Hey, you, man.
Okay. All right, Matt, you've been too quiet. What do you think?
I've very much been enjoying this one, and yes, it's top. Thanks to you. Every week now, I just came back through Kate Stewart's episodes to know what she's wearing. But I'm still disgusted with the bright orange shoes.
Well, these made the bright orange shoes look good. Oh, man.
I know. It's
Nothing
just
can
good.
make the bright orange shoes look good.
Matt, are you chomping away your own chocolate?
Sorry, no, I've got a biscuit.
Jesus.
She'd have been
Sorry.
better off with the leopard.
There is one thing I'm very disgusted by, and the fact that the doctor actually calls London a dump. How dare he?
Well, Phillip, he is from Glasgow, and that's the biggest, it's just...
What a dump.
The beef dumps in reality, certain aspects of them, I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doctor, why do you have a Union Jack parachute? It's camouflage.
Yeah, camouflage. You're that the George Lazenby fan.
My favourite part was Dr. John Disco.
Oh, yeah.
I wish he would have just... Oh, come on, man. Dr. John Smith was the
Psychic
best
paper.
part.
What's the problem? You don't like disco, well, nobody likes
No,
disco, but...
I prefer the old Dr. John Smith moniker, man, not some disco. What's that all about? Come on.
He's trying to be cool, like funky.
Yeah.
Oh,
It might not last.
oh, could try anything, that one.
Okay, anything you want to throw in, Edgar?
Well, I don't know if we got here yet, but is it just me, or does, I love Osgood. I always have, but now that we got 2 Osgoods again, does it kind of retcon or negate the ending of last season to anybody? I mean, it feels kind of empty.
No.
Not
least,
really.
Yeah, it was just left open. If
I
that's
get
still
it's a different Zygon now that's being the other Osgood, but it's like you start the episode, you show her at the grave of her sister, and now at the end, she's got a new sister, so no, she doesn't care. At least that's what it felt like to me.
He does care, but the point was that the bad Zygon, the one that was creating all the problems, has reformed a little bit and become the other Osgood. I do think that's a little quick. I mean, that doesn't, but they had to end the episode somehow, and that was a good way to end it.
And like, we don't really know how long it's been since Osgood's sister died.
That's true.
So it could have been
at least a couple of years.
I mean, that was the I thought this thing was great. So that was like the only thing that I'm nitpicking there. So.
Although when like they had the whole plane sequence at the start and then the rocket missed, I'm like, oh, for God's sake, is that how they get out of it? But then it blew up, so I'm like, okay, that's good.
Yeah, but then you sort of parachutes drifting away from an explosion. I'm like, oh my God.
No, I thought that was very clever because they subverted what you had last week, and then again they had the whole bit with Clara in her room prison or whatever she thought she was, affecting what the Zygon was doing. She made her miss, and then she, I mean, the first time anyway. So that was, and then she was able to text the doctor. So I mean, that was pretty clever, I thought.
Two-way psychic link.
Yep.
Yeah.
I still bewail the fact that they didn't include the Saraskin anywhere in this. So
What?
Over it.
Exactly.
The what?
Come on, he was in the Saraskin. You know. Yes, sir.
Since you can't say Scarrison, just say Nessie.
Excuse me, American man. I'm English. I can say it how I say it.
It's Scarrison.
Scarrison. Oh,
Yes.
no.
Scarrison. Yeah.
It's not Scarrican.
No, I
Did
got
anyone
this.
else see the? Oh, sorry.
Go on, carry on.
I was gonna say, did anyone else see that helmet in the Black Archive from the?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you got the died? Yeah.
I didn't catch it. What was it?
That
There was a Meyer
The Maya. The Maya, they call themselves.
Maya.
Yeah.
from the Ashilder episode. One of those guys, their helmet was in the one room in the Black Archive.
Which made me ask, where did they get it from? And that's from the Middle Centuries. And who held on to it? And
I'm still trying to figure out how they got a picture of Chameleon, Philip, or let alone better yet, does my other favorite one from the Black Archive. You know, River must have some really stinky feet because they have her shoes in the Black Archive.
I'd just like to remind everyone we're living in a world where River Song's shoes made it into the 50th, yet the classic Doctors didn't.
I think more her Jimmy Choos, man, because Kate definitely needs to steal some River's Jimmy Choos.
River footprint.
Crimea River, as it say. Yeah.
Did anyone else see the Fourth Doctor and Harry reference in the episode?
The Sullivan 67 gas thing. Yeah.
No. Release the imbeciles gas. Harry Sullivan is an imbecile.
What's more important, was everyone relieved that Osgood did not take the offer of going aboard the TARDIS?
Well, she was never going to. As I keep telling people, Ingrid Oliver's too busy.
I know, but the point is what I'm saying is, had it happened, would you have been happy with that?
No.
They could have took her for a one-off adventure. Or something.
Yeah, a couple of episodes that they'd done with Martha and Dawn, maybe a 2-3-parter, but no any longer than that.
If anything, even if he took her on a trip and she didn't show up next week, that leaves that door wide open for that certain Big Finish productions.
No, also, too, that points out how different he is now as well. Because remember, whenever Journey Blue wanted to go with them, and he kind of said, I ain't got time for you soldier types. But look how he is now.
But Osgood is not technically a soldier. She's a scientific advisor.
No. I mean, but my point is, he's a lot more open-minded about letting somebody else travel with him.
Journey Blue was just an insufferable cow.
What?
Well, to be fair,
she spends the whole episode berating and belittling the Doctor, and then wants to go with him at the end. What's the fact? She makes a joke about her dead brother.
So Tegan did that for how long?
Yeah, exactly.
She's a product of her where she's at. She was involved in a war kind of thing going on forever and ever, and pretty confused. By the end of it, she said, "Hey, this is my ticket out of here. Let me ask him if I can go." And he shuts her down real quick. Anyway, we're not talking about that episode.
But you joined the Omega Files, a mere retrospective with reviewing Into the Dalek.
Insufferable cow, really.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. Oh man.
He could have used something worse than that phrase. Just be happy he didn't.
Myself.
But either way, I can't complain. I really enjoyed this episode. It flowed well. Brilliant performances on all the actors' parts in this one. Come on. I really, really love that scene. Well, wait, what happened? 5 rounds rapid.
Well, to be fair, everybody was whining and bitching about how she only went into town with a solitary gun last week. Well, there you go, bitch. She used a gun.
Maybe one gun is all you need.
Yeah.
I was really worried that after last week they would have revealed what Osgood survived, but I'm really, really glad that they didn't go down that road.
I don't know where you get that for. I knew last week they weren't going to do that, just by the way the character was doing her stuff last week.
Yeah, I know, but there was that little bit of, fear inside of me that they would have done it.
I did like the agonizing problem of that man who was halfway through Zygon and human.
Yeah,
the prosthetics of that was cool, man. That was good.
God, that was so gross looking.
Well, I got the idea. What was the point of that? Because on a second watch, I still didn't quite get it. Is he one of the ones that was roped into the deal with the bad crew of Zygons, or
no? The Splinter faction was after him, and they were trying to take him back to convert him or whatever. So he just committed suicide. It's no different for like a rogue militant agent, whether it be for Islam or whatever. It's on that modern day thing again.
Yeah.
So those people didn't seem too concerned at the fact that there was an alien in front of them.
Well, to be fair, they were zombified, man. Yeah,
they were
higher than Bill. Yeah,
that's what I don't quite understand. Maybe you can explain it. Is this a guy that was a Zygon who was revealed to be a Zygon when the bad Clara did her thing? Or...
Yeah, he was a Zygon by trade. Yeah.
Yeah, he was Zygon, but I think he was one of those ones that was happy to be in human form.
Yeah,
she wanted to convert him into her ideology. Free as a Zygon. Yeah.
Okay.
So rather than go there, committed suicide. So yeah.
Which I found pretty odd, actually, that they could do that with themselves by turning themselves into cat fur.
That's the whole point, though, wasn't it? That the Zygons aren't a bad race of beings. There's a faction group that's trying to take over the world and say, nah, and that's the whole point with it, kind of reflecting a little bit of what's going on in the world today.
Yeah.
That was so they don't represent the whole Zygon race. Zygons aren't bad guys, apparently. So
the scary part was
the Zygons aren't bad.
The way the doctor handled this was very, very reminiscent of a story I read when I was very, very young. And how many of you remember this story? Button by Richard Matthews.
Oh, right.
Where you had the mysterious stranger show up at the door. He gives his family a button on this little box and says, if you press this button, you get so much money. But the trick of it was someone in the world you don't know dies.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they tried prying the thing apart, didn't find any insides in it, or at least in the Twilight Zone episode version of it. And then they press the button, and then he takes it back at the end, and he goes, yes, here's the money. And she goes, well, what happens? Did somebody die? He goes, yes, they did. And don't worry, rest assured, we'll make sure that the button goes next time to someone you don't know. But to me, it's the same gambit, but at the same time, that's why I love it. How many of you actually here thought, the doctor was going to bring that gas back to Earth? Really? Come on.
It was actually to begin with.
I didn't think he'd bring it back, but at the same time, it wouldn't have surprised me had somebody, acquired a stash and attempted to use it against him knowing.
Right, there was a little bit inside of me that thought the boxes are empty, aren't they?
Well, what does it matter? Well, you want a cookie because you've been right. See, this is what gets me every week. People whine when they're right and bitch when they don't get what they want. I mean,
I'm not bitching.
He's not saying that, Graham. He's not saying that at
Yeah, I was
all.
just saying, like, you know, there was a little bit, but then when it happened, I was like,
But you're right, Ryan, and sorry for misconstruing you there, but you're right in a sense that that was the beauty of the diplomacy of his speech. You didn't realise they were empty till right at the last minute. Hence the gotcha.
Which shows you that the Doctor doesn't have that kind of bloodthirsty feel of what's it called, genocide. He doesn't want genocide on his hands. So
well, it's not anymore anyway. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Hurt's job. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, because I love the fact that he alluded to that. The fact that he goes, look, I know exactly where you are right now. I've been there myself. I had that choice, and thankfully somebody talked me out of doing it.
That's probably why the box was designed to look like the moment as well.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
A nice little psychological throwback in your mind there to that particular prop, yeah. Because it did kind of remind me of the moment, the outside design of the box, but it didn't have the big jolly red candy-like button on the top. But
it was amazing to reveal that there were two of them. I mean, then you kind of all clicked into place that you knew that one was for them and one was for them. So that's the big.
Yeah, that makes sense. That made sense on the photos that I saw. Because one was, I thought, why are they different colours?
Although here's the thing that got me. Zygons are orange. Why did they not have the orange box? I'm nitpicking. There we go.
Because it was a double bluff. Because you'd look at the box and go, okay, blue box, blue planet, that'll be Earth.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm just going by what certain people with their flaming fingers of fury will no doubt take to me later.
This whole episode was just one WTF moment after the other.
Oh yeah.
It did not give up for a single second, and I loved every minute of it.
Yep.
Like I said, Capaldi was incredible in this one. Jenna Coleman was awesome. Ingrid Oliver, spectacular, and even the lovely Gemma Redgrave, fantastic in this episode. This one did not disappoint for a two-parter. Did not disappoint.
And this is a good setup for unit extension. Go to Big Finish and buy.
Oh yeah, they put the trailer up for that earlier today. Little video trailer. If any y'all haven't run on over to the Big Finish, I think it's on their YouTube page as well as the site. And you can take a look at that as well, because they're going to be going into the world of audio with Big Finish. And it's apparently, I guess, Extinction is going to take place apparently right after Day of the Doctor, or right around that time, apparently. So I'm looking forward to listening to that one. Okay, we've ranted about it. We've gone on about it. It's time to rate the sucker and put it to bed. Okay, let's start with AJ out of 10. How do you rate this one, the Zygon Inversion? All right, you gave it a what?
10.
Gave it a 10? Okay, what about you, Edgar?
Overall, 9.5, just because I don't give anything a 10. And it was really good for a two-parter.
Okay, go ahead, Philip.
I'm going to rate this a 9 for me. And the 1% is just, I don't know, just because the Zygons weren't doing much. Not the proper Zygons weren't doing much. But yeah, a 9 out of 10.
All right, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, gonna have to echo Philip there. 9 out of 10. Really solid two-parter. There's just a question. Does anyone know how long this is after Day of the Doctor? Because I've heard a lot of rumors about, or not rumors, but I've read a few things about when In the Forest of the Night was set, and apparently someone said that's set in 2016, which I don't know where they get that from, which means this episode would be set even later, which would put at least a 3-year gap.
Everything on the internet is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say, yeah. Especially if it's written by the Mirror. Oops.
I'm going to slap that bald head. But I'm going to put a date in. I'm going to put a date in as 2020. Just give it a couple of years.
I'll just say, unless it's integral to the plot, why the hell does it matter?
Yeah.
Well, Ryan asked a question. I'm just trying to give him an answer. But there you go.
No, I know, but I give him an answer. Unless it's integral to the plot and essential, why the heck does it matter? That's my answer.
Well, you do know it's post death in heaven, and so that's all you
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Graham.
Delightfully diplomatic, phenomenal, actors, superb. 9 out of 10.
Okay, go ahead, Matt.
Going with AJ, going to score a perfect 10.
Okay, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, this is an easy 10 for me because, at the end of the day, it was very entertaining. It was nonstop entertainment. So, easy 10. I mean, it finishes up what it started last week. And I wouldn't have given last week's a 10, I don't think, because I think it was building up to this. And this is the payoff. If you watched it all together, it'd be like an awesome movie. So, there you go.
I agree with that.
10. Easy 10.
Okay. I was going to hold back a point because somebody in the wardrobe department needs to be sacked.
You're going to dock a point because of shoes?
Yes, he is.
But I'm definitely going to give this one a 10. I love this episode. It was a brilliant conclusion. Not a moment was wasted. Enjoyed every second of it. So, yeah, I got to give this one a 10 out of 10. I very rarely do that myself. I have to do it. Okay, well, now that that's all done, we allegedly have Capaldi and Moffat coming out this week and saying that, yes, they are filming a full series next year. Now, are they going to actually air a full season?
That's the question.
$64 million question.
And, at the end of the day, they're contractually fulfilling their obligations. If they don't broadcast everything next year, that's on the bead, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's going to be, if it did happen, it would have to have been somebody up in the BBC because they're clearly not happy, with this talk about this apparently. So I figure I'd bring it up because it was a big time thing yesterday. Capaldi and it's Capaldi came out.
Capaldi.
In one of these articles, didn't Stephen Moffat also mention that he's seen the 5-year plan that they've got from now going onward? So, I mean, he's not that worried about it. And then, like he says, he has no control of when they broadcast it. But, I mean, as far as he knows, that's what they're doing next year. So Capaldi echoed the same thing. So, I mean, again, you never know what BBC is going to do.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the cast, the crew, the production unit, they're fulfilling their obligations. They'll film the 13th as the status quo. If we only get 6 plus Christmas, have a word with the heads of the babe, man.
Well, because that's what. Go ahead. Well, that's kind of what they did in 2012, didn't they? They filmed a whole series, but they sat on half of it for about 6 months before they broadcast it in 2013.
April, yeah.
That's what had a lot of people complaining about the anniversary year, that, that's all we're getting is 2 episodes. But I'm just saying, it's true, though, that was the BBC's decision. I don't think it has anything to do with the guys in charge of making the show.
Yep.
Also, one other thing they brought up, I figure I better bring up before we close. Does everybody think the airtime is a little bit too late for the episode?
You know what? It doesn't bother me personally, but I get where they're coming from if they want the younger kids to watch it. But at the same time, look at Beefhead's house. His kids are up at 2 in the bloody morning. And I mean, Jesus.
It makes good for people like AJ and I who get up at early hours of the morning to watch.
No, but do you guys not get it at 5:30 regardless of what time it is out here? No?
Okay, go ahead, AJ. You had your finger up there.
Right. We get it about 6:50 in the morning here.
Right.
Wow.
Well, Brian will be 7:50 because he's an hour ahead of me.
Okay. So he gets an extra hour and Kip. Lucky bugger.
Time's relative.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last thing I did want to talk about. Oh, sorry. Do you want to throw something in?
Nope, fine, on you go.
Okay, last thing I did want to bring up before we bring it to a close. Come on.
Wait, what?
Doctor Who fans left stunned after episode shows plane shot down just a week after the Russian jet tragedy.
Oh, no. Wait a minute.
Tragedy.
That is just toilet news. That's all it is. That's nothing, man.
Is that
silly?
Is that the mirror again?
Yeah.
My question is, which Doctor Who fans? Because I don't know anybody that was stunned by that.
Wait, this thing only aired a couple of years. When was that put up? 22:48. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, man.
Well, they could be talking about last week's, but at the end of the day, these were filmed when? I mean,
6 months ago at least.
Yeah, 6 months ago at least. So, I mean,
It's the same bullshit that happened with the whole beheading thing.
Right.
Sherwood.
Where we couldn't show an android getting beheaded because apparently a week or so before, they had those things with ice going on.
Yet we could have our main character, our lead, continuously reference wanting to behead Robin Hood. Apparently that can make it in there.
To be fair, he wasn't calling him an infidel.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to throw a couple of those things in before we go ahead and say goodnight. So, all
that
right.
was BS, man. That last article. Yeah.
Go ahead, AJ.
What about the next time trailer?
Never watched it.
It looked intriguing, but the next two are going to be one-offs apparently. So that's going to be interesting to see. It's kind of weird, this series because we've gotten so used to individual episodes, and then this year we're getting used to two-parters, and now we're going to have individual episodes. So strange.
I can already hear the complaints, though. If those aren't crinoids, I'm going to be very pissed.
Yep, they'll be standing by with their flaming fingers of fury.
Yeah, where's the 8 legs? It's got to be the 8 legs.
Yeah. Well, all I can see is the Sandman's coming. Night, folks.
Where's the Merca?
Actually, I heard it's even worse. Sutek is coming out of the closet.
Oh, well, that's what happened.
Fabulous! That's the guy who Sutek's behind Kate Stewart's footwear choice. Okay, darling, I think you'll look ravishing in this.
I'm Sutek. I leave nothing but dust and high heels. Yeah.
He does wear a dress.
I am Sutek. Wherever I walk, I leave dust. But I look fabulous!
But that dust is the most fabulous dust you will ever see.
If you ever done that, I would indeed be afraid of the big bad Gabriel Wolf. So, yeah.
I'm Sutek. Are you me?
Look, Doctor, I'm back, and look, I have a pretty hand.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead.
Now that I think about it, Omega's dress was strangely sparkly.
Okay, before this realmed into article.
Before we go into any more of that, let's go ahead and say goodnight. Let's start with AJ.
Yep, this is Dr. Disco, and I'm saying goodnight from down on
Oh, I fucking hate that. Oh, Dr. Disco.
All right.
Thanks, Phillip. Right to the end.
Okay, say goodnight, Edgar.
Good night, folks. Thanks for having me on again, and it's time for dinner.
All right, Phillip.
Good night, farewell, and sleep no more next week.
Ryan.
Thank you for having me. I'm really looking forward to next week's because I love it when Doctor Who and horror go hand in hand. It makes a really interesting episode. Even if the episode isn't that good, still love me some horror. So bring it on. And it's a found footage thing, which is original.
It's a Blair Witch. I'm going to be pissed.
The Blair Witch Project. Graham.
Well, the Sandmans are coming. Night, folks.
Matt Rose.
Good night, people. Good night.
And of course, Texas Tim.
And he goes, what are you there?
Is your name Texas Tim?
No, not yet.
Would you STFU, please? As always, thank you for having me, and this was a lot of fun. I can't wait to talk about it next week.
Okay, from myself and the rest of the panel, everybody enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you all next week for Sleep No More.
Hope to have you back next week, William.